All right, let's just get the elephant or point the elephant. What is it? How does that phrase go? Let's just, I don't know, whatever the elephant in the room is. Yes, I have coffee on my shirt. Spilled it on my shirt this morning when I got to work. So too late. Pulled to Chelsea and got coffee on my white shirt. Thank God it's like a $4 Target shirt, so I don't care. Anyway, we're here to talk about Game of Thrones. If you haven't watched this past episode, Sunday's episode, episode 5 of season 8, stop watching. There's going to be a lot of spoilers. There's no way to talk about this episode without giving away massive spoilers. The more I think about the episode and the more I see the reactions, I think the people who don't like the episode are actually in the minority this time. They're just a little bit louder than the people who actually enjoyed the episode. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So keep on watching. Honestly, I don't want to do a play-by-play about this. I just kind of want to take certain moments and certain people's opinions and go ahead into it. And I think I want to start off with the moment actually was probably one of the last moments that are in the episode that people had an issue with, but I kind of want to talk about that first, which is Cersei and Jaime's death. First of all, people were very upset with Jaime's character arc kind of doing a 180. Like he was on the, on the good side now, and he went to go help with the Night King and the White Walkers and the Army of the Dead. And then all of a sudden he seemed like he was really happy. And first mention of Cersei, he's like going back into her arms. And people thought that that was so unfair to his character development and so terrible for his character arc, and that it was such a disservice to him. I actually kind of think it's the opposite, that he did do good. Like his character did change throughout the series. Like there's no denying that. And he did go to Winterfell to help out the side of the living, even though Cersei said, I'm not going to do that. So that was his big moment. Now, for him to go back to Cersei, to me, made sense. And a lot of people, after watching the previous episode, episode 4, and him leaving to go to King's Landing, people thought, oh, he was only doing this to protect Brienne. He's actually going to go kill Cersei. And I honestly never thought that was the case. I really didn't think he was going to go kill Cersei. I looked at this as Jaime, Cersei is Jaime's drug. He is addicted to her. He has done god-awful things in the name of Cersei. So for him to then, everything is now cool. We don't have the Army of the Dead anymore. For him to switch off wasn't, to me, that shocking. I was thinking, all right, yeah, this makes sense. He's still in love with her. He's been in love with her since they've been born. They were born together. They love each other. And actually, now that I said that out loud, I realized the way they died is kind of perfect. Now, a lot of people thought they wanted to see Cersei, die. Like, they wanted a great moment. They wanted Arya to kill her. Like, that's what Arya's been trying to do this whole time. They wanted that big moment. And I kind of like that it wasn't, because Game of Thrones is known for giving you not always what you want. And I appreciated that for Cersei's death, it wasn't this big, huge, somebody getting revenge moment. It's very reflective of real life. And I think that's what's really cool about Game of Thrones, even with the magic and the mysticism, I don't even think that's a word, but of the show, there's such a parallel to real life that, you know what, sometimes the bad guys, they just die. They don't have this big epic moment of death. But to see Cersei that afraid, Cersei has never been that afraid before in the entire show. She has never been brought to tears in such fear. I mean, yes, she was kind of afraid during the High Sparrow whole ordeal, but not like this. And to see Cersei at her weakest point and at her most vulnerable, and then she dies in the arms of her brother, which is kind of, bringing it back to, they were born together, they were together in the womb, they were close together, and that's how they go out. People just die in that kind of way, no matter if you're a good guy or bad guy. And the way Game of Thrones has formed their characters you see both sides of it. There's not one person that's just totally good, with the exception of Ned and Jon. Other than that, everybody's kind of in that gray area. Nobody's just pure evil, with, I guess, the exception of the Night King. Now, going back to everybody wanting Arya to kill Cersei. Now, I'm going to say something, and I don't actually know if it's accurate or not, but I swore that there was a moment, maybe it was Jake and Hagar, who had said something about living your life and killing for revenge and how it was a bad thing. I could be making this up. I could be completely making this up. Jack and Hagar may have not said anything like that before, but when he was, and she was giving her list to him and he talked about revenge, I want to say that there was a moment where somebody at some point had told her that revenge is poison. So to have that moment between her and the Hound, they get through the gate and yes, we're going to finally, she's going to kill her. I really love how they humanize Arya, where she's not just this crazy assassin. She is still a child, and I think a lot of times we forget that. She is still a child. I mean, not really a child, you know, her and Gendry did get it on, but like she's still a young person. And to have these moments where she is humanized is really important for her character. And I love the moment where he you know, the Hound, Sandor, I love that she called him Sandor, but the Hound says, you don't want to be like me. This is not how, you're better than this. You aren't me, and don't try to be like me because it's not going to end well for you. And that she realizes it clicks in her head, and she thanks him for it. And I also, like I said, love how she called him Sandor. She didn't refer to him as the Hound. Everybody referred to him as the Hound. And now we have allowed the Hound, Sandor, to be a real person in this moment. A lot of people also really upset with Dany's story arc. Really? We didn't see this coming? Because I'm pretty sure we saw this coming like a while ago. Dany has always used fire and blood to get what she wants. Why would we think she was going to stop now? And I was reading an article where the directors and showrunners were talking about this switch for her. And that people were just so shocked. Like, why didn't she just go to Cersei? Why did she just flip the way she flipped? They have really been pushing this season the flip of the coin. You know, a Targaryen, the gods flip a coin. And they have really tried to polarize both Dany and Jon as two sides of the coin, of the Targaryen coin. So clearly, they were setting this up for us. And the showrunners also pointed out that at this point, Dany feels like she has nobody. Nobody's on her side. She has come to this foreign land. She is trying, she's fighting her natural instincts of being the Mad Queen, and she's trying so hard to be good and be the breaker of chains. And then the man she loves betrays her in her eyes. Her advisors betray her. Her dragons, she only has one of them left. Two of them died. And everything, her best friend gets killed right in front of her. She says Dracarys, which the actress that plays Missandei posted, you know, burn them all as her post after her death on Instagram, clearly hinting that, yeah, she's gonna burn them all. Like, she's going crazy. She is gonna be the Mad Queen. But the moment she did that, I looked at my brothers. I said, she's so stupid. She had it. You know, she was gonna spare King's Landing. Nobody really likes Cersei. They would have turned on Cersei, the people of King's Landing. They would have probably welcomed her in, even because of having Jon on her side. And she had it. She had everything. And she just blew it away, which is such a commentary on humanity a lot of times, that people have everything and then they just lose it all in one decision. At one decision, I mean, yeah, she burned an entire city, but one decision ruins it all, just like that. There we go, that. Also, this story, the Song of Ice and Fire, George R. R. Martin has said it is a commentary on the world, and also being an anti-war book. I mean, she's used war as her method to get what she wants. There's no way she could win, because that's kind of the storyline George R. R. Martin was trying to portray in these book series, from what I'm understanding, is that, you know, it's anti-war. So if you're using war to get what you want, and he's trying to go against war, they can't win. They can't have the throne. I think at the end of it, I don't think that there's going to be anybody on the Iron Throne. I think it's going to be, like a lot of people think, the small kingdoms, and I wouldn't be surprised by that at all. If anybody is on the Iron Throne, I think Sansa. A lot of people think Arya or Tyrion, but I think it's going to be, if anybody, Sansa possibly. I don't think Arya wants it. She doesn't want to be queen. I would be shocked if she does. I did like that last moment. A lot of people didn't like this moment in the show of Arya on the the white horse is there, and then she goes riding off on the white horse. And yes, was it saturated in symbolism and being like a metaphor? You know, you always have the hero in a story come riding in on their white horse. Yes, of course it was. It was a very in-your-face moment, but I liked it. I love over dramatic and theatrical, and I like Arya, so I'm not mad about them pushing that aspect of Arya being the hero. I would be okay with if Arya is the hero of the whole show. If she kills Dany and if she becomes the hero, and if she is what people are thinking as she is, Azora Ahai, I'd be okay with it. A lot of people aren't. I know a lot of people are really mad, and I never understood that. At this point for Game of Thrones, we have to just accept that it's going to feel rushed because they only have a limited number of episodes they can do it in. So yes, the story is going to feel rushed. They're like, I don't understand why it has to feel rushed. They only have a certain amount of episodes. What do you want them to do? It's either they rush it or they don't complete stories. You have one of two options here. They either rush to get the answers and all of everything in, or they just leave you hanging at a lot of cliffhangers at the end. They have to wrap it up, and they have to wrap it up quick. And then I also think that it's now cool to hate on Game of Thrones. It's like this very mob mentality that it's easier. People love to complain on social media. I think people rather complain on social media than be happy on social media. It's just a thing. We love being negative on social media. So if we can find something we can complain about and really get under people's skin and argue with like random strangers in the comment section of like a Cosmo article, they love it. People love it. And I think that's what this has turned into. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter what the writers and what the showrunners do for this season. People are going to hate it anyway just to complain about something. They need something to complain about, and now they have it. People's expectations and people's theories outweighed what the actual show was. And I think people got blinded by their own theories and their own idea of what the show should be, and have to realize Game of Thrones has never been about what you think is going to happen. It's never been that way. Maybe I'm wrong, and this sounds super corny and cliche, but it's easier for something to end if you don't like it. If you are really enjoying it and then it ends, it's sad. And rather than just enjoying the ride while it lasts, people are going to hate on it, so then it's easier when the show ends. I don't know. That's just my opinions. I really love this episode. I thought it was great. I didn't mind that the Golden Company was defeated right away. I thought it came for an epic moment of just showing that Daenerys has learned how to finally use her dragons and not get them killed, because that was something that she clearly didn't know how to do and not get shot. But she was definitely fighting in a different way than she has before. I like that the Iron Fleet and all of that just got decimated. Clearly, people were so upset about it, but Tyrion kept saying it. They're gonna be destroyed. There's no way you're winning. This is gonna happen. Doesn't matter what you do. You're not going to win. They're gonna be destroyed immediately. And he said it. And it's like nobody wanted to believe him. Let me know what you thought about this episode of Game of Thrones. Did you think that the writers are betraying the character arcs? I disagree with that kind of mentality. I think it's very true to the character arcs. I also love that finally the visions came through from Bran. You saw the shadow of the dragon go over King's Landing. You saw the ash, which we thought was snow, in the throne room. I kind of love that. What did you think? Hit the like button and the subscribe button and the notification bell, and comment down below your opinions on the episode. And let's get ready for the last ever episode of Game of Thrones. I'm not mentally or emotionally prepared for this whatsoever.